Hi Jane, how are you? My name is Megan and today I'm going to be talking about STIs and the education resource that I found on YouTube related to the subject. I have never had an STI, thankfully, but this resource gave me a lot of information on how dangerous they are, what causes them, and how you can be treated. I selected this topic to talk about because I think that the issues of STIs, especially in people our age, are often overlooked. It is seen as something that can never happen to you, but it very well can if we do not practice safe sex and stay protected. I chose this topic also because STIs are a lot more common than people may think. There are billions of people in the world that suffer from an STI or have been a victim in the past. STIs are often looked at as a disgusting thing and something to be ashamed of. I feel as though this is sad, especially for those who do suffer from an STI to have to feel this way. If people were more aware of how common it is and how many people are suffering, those who feel ashamed wouldn't feel so alone. It is unfortunate that STIs have become such a common thing in today's society, so I chose this topic in hopes that people will become more aware of the severity of a sexually transmitted infection, and how easily it is to infect yourself without even knowing. The source I chose is a 6 or 7 minute video that was made by a patient education institute, where they try and raise awareness on the topic of STIs and help to educate those who have already been diagnosed with an infection. I like this source because it talks about all the aspects of STIs in a simple way so that people can understand. Many sources that I looked at when trying to find one were using big words and professional speak, making it hard for someone who does not know much about the topic to understand. However, this video is very clear and plays at a slow pace so that there is no confusion as to what is going on. It also has pictures and dialogue on the screen for those who like additional information and for those who may be hearing impaired. The source begins by talking about the causes of STIs. It explains in detail the way that you can contract an STI and by doing what, such as vaginal intercourse, anal intercourse, oral sex, or even kissing. It also discusses what is actually happening in your body when you contract the disease and how parasites, bacteria, or viruses can be what's causing the infection. It also discusses in the video that some infections caused by a parasite or bacteria can be cured by medication. However, it also discusses that most infections that are caused by a virus are not curable and can often result in death. I think this particular information would be useful to a parent or friend or someone else who does not know much on the subject, because although no one wants an STI to begin with, it gives them a general idea of which ones are more dangerous than others, which ones have a cure, and which ones do not. The source discusses in detail viral infections, specifically AIDS, caused by HPV. This is known to be one of the most dangerous sexually transmitted infections, and also the one with the highest death rate. It discusses other ways that HIV can be contracted, what can be done once you have contracted the infection, and how people often die from it. This section of the video is very important because it shows the worst that can happen from an STI. This will show people how severe it is, and it will hopefully influence those who don't to practice safe sex at all times. This video also contains a lot of statistics about different STIs, including the number of people who have them, etc. Using statistics in an educational video I think is very important because although we all hope that people will trust our information, it is nice for listeners to see that there is factual evidence and stats involved. They can relate back to these statistics and hopefully learn more about the subject from them. This video resource also goes into depth about signs and symptoms of different STIs, including herpes and genital warts and crabs. This is good information to have because if someone is not able to get checked, they can have an idea of what may be wrong with them and if an STI is the problem. It is also important to know, as stated in the video, that not all STIs have physical symptoms. These STIs are called silent infections, and that is why people are often not aware that they have the infection in the first place. These silent infections are also what make the spreading of STIs so dangerous and so rapid. The source concludes with discussing some common treatment methods for different STIs, including over-the-counter medicine, antibiotics, the freezing of warts, surgeries, and so on. Overall, this source is extremely informative to someone who is just hearing about the subject, and for someone who wants a brief overview of all aspects of what is an STI. The slow pace, easy language, and simplicity of the video makes this a great resource for anybody who is interested in learning. At the end of the video, there is also a website they suggest visiting for more information about the topic of STIs. And that's all I have for you today, Jane. Thank you.